Happy new comic book day, everyone. Hopefully everybody got the books that they wanted. Welcome to Chatting with the Comic Community. I am your host, TM. Guys, it's been a fantastic time talking to everybody. And this is a milestone episode. That's right, guys. This is episode 60. And my guest today is somebody that mostly just does Instagram. But she has gotten together with some amazing women in this community and put on a show about comic books. And I've had most of them on. I've had Sheena on. I've had Nicole on. Now it's time for Inja Binja. Next week, it is Moonlit, Michelle. But that's next week. So put that notification bell on and get ready for today's show. Because today's show, it's Inja Binja. Let's bring her out. Welcome.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesdays. Thank you so much for joining me on this milestone episode. That's right. You're on a milestone episode. You're on episode 60.
Oh, cool.
So what better episode for you to be featured on? So I'm so glad to actually have the time to sit down and talk with you. I know we've had a couple of technical issues, some on mine, some on yours, and to get together and talk, I'm so happy that we actually found the time to get together and talk.
Me too.
So for the viewers at home that don't know a lot about you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
So I go by Inja Binja on Instagram, mainly just on Instagram. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that interesting of a person. I like all things geeky, pretty much, I guess. I love reading. I love playing video games. I like watching anime and cartoons, and I don't know, I'm just me.
And I have to stop you there. You're interesting. You just don't think you're interesting. So let's kick it right off. Like, how did you get into comic collecting / reading?
Okay, so the collecting part, I guess that started, trying to think what year are we in? We're in 2022. So I think back in, may have been 2015 or 2016, was when I started kind of getting into it heavy. Like we went to a comic shop here locally, and it was just like, I don't know. We were like hooked. And so we got like a pull list going, and we went every week to check things out. And the one I started with was, just trying to see if I can find it. It's Gotham City. No, it wasn't Gotham City Sirens. I got into that one next after I started on Birds of Prey, because I loved female superheroes and female villains. Like, I don't know, that was just my thing. I thought they were like the coolest thing ever, because you don't really hear as much about them, I feel like. So I was like, well, let me start with something that's going to be like all girls. That's going to be focused on women and not on men. So that was kind of, I don't know, how I got into it, and kind of been hooked ever since.
So do you find yourself more going towards like the DC characters because you can find a lot more women characters in DC?
Not, well, maybe like starting out, I guess. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. They have been on one all day, and there are no signs of it letting up. So sorry.
That's quite all right.
Hear that a lot. They're in there playing Minecraft, and I don't really know what's going on, but no, not necessarily. Like, I mean, no, because there were like, I started picking up like image books that had female characters in it, and I picked up some Marvel books too around that time, but that was just like, I mean, I guess starting out, it was mainly DC for me. Just because that was like familiar.
Just familiar. And so you just went towards more image characters. Like I'm sure you went like in love Noctera.
Well, not then. I didn't. Like I didn't know anything about that then when I started out. So like I was trying to think. I can't remember if what was the name of that book? I should have had it out. I think it was crap, I'm so sorry. I just went blank.
Well, that's quite all right. There is a series I know, and a lot of people are gonna like hate on me for mentioning this because I talk about it quite a bit, and I finished it quite a while ago. But The Wicked and the Divine features like lead female characters, so that might interest you a bit to read as well.
For sure. And I think I may actually have some of those here. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I've got like a stack that actually I have a few stacks that are like outrageous.
So getting caught up and stuff, do you find yourself reading more trades or more single issues lately?
So, okay, when I started out, I was like, it was purely trades and graphic novels. Like that was my thing because it felt like I have like loved reading since I was like a little kid. Like I was like that goober that would like read by the moonlight literally when it was time to go to bed. I'd opened up my blinds in my room and would just read by like the little light that I had when I was supposed to be sleeping. So that like the first books that I got into, I actually got them in trade form and like the collected form because it just, I don't know, felt more like a book to me, and I was able to read it faster. Like I can like zoom through like a trade or a graphic novel like that, but like issues for some reason it takes me forever to get through. So I have this like big bookshelf in my living room, and it's filled with like trades and stuff because that's what I started out with. But now like I've gotten more into issues, which is super fun because I guess I'm a bit of a cover whore and I love like different covers and like variants and stuff, which has like really become a problem for me. But I don't know, it's fun too.
So being a cover lover, like, and jumping into that rabbit hole of collecting covers, who would you say would be your favorite cover artist?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, so right now, although I don't have a lot of her stuff, but I'm hoping to change that. And I want to get a lot of her prints, just like regular artwork and stuff too. But I love Zoo's stuff. That she's probably one of my favorites. Like it's one of those that like anything that she does, I'm like in love with. Like I haven't come across anything that I was like, oh, this is kind of mediocre. I'm not like in love with it. Like I'm like in awe with like every piece she comes out with. So she right now is probably my favorite.
I'm not too familiar with her. Like, what has she done?
So she's done a really cool Department of Truth cover. I'll have to grab that really quick. That my friend Steve at Hip Hops and Me, he actually AOK'd me not too long ago.
Shout out Steve.
Right? And I wanted to cry because I was like so excited about it. I thought I had it like, well.
That's all right. Does she do mostly Marvel or DC?
So she does like, she's done like a lot of indie stuff, too, and like a lot of like horror type comics.
Okay.
Like the I haven't read The Closet yet. I think that's what it's called. She just did one for that. And then she did one for... Hold on. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. They were super wild. I'm so sorry.
I'll just edit that out.
I'm so sorry. So she's done one for Something's Killing the Children. I think she's done one for Haha, I believe.
Okay, then I might be familiar with her work then.
Yeah, and I think she's done, I want to say she's done some Marvel and DC stuff. I remember her showing on one of her stories one of Wonder Woman she's done, and then there was one of Wanda, I believe, too.
All right, probably like if I see her work, I'll probably like recognize it, but like I don't know the name.
Yeah, definitely. There's like, I don't want to say it's chaotic, but there's a lot going on in it. And like all of the prints in the cover. She did one for Grimm too. I don't know if you've seen that one or have picked that up. That just came out not too long ago. That one looks really cool too. But she has like, it's like detail on top of detail on top of detail, like within her pictures. I love it. And I love all the colors and stuff that she uses and how everything just kind of swirls and meshes together. It's awesome.
I'll definitely be looking up some of her work after this stream, after this recording. So besides Saga or Saga, however you guys pronounce it, I say Saga.
Do you?
What would be like your favorite story you've read so far getting into comics?
Trying to think. There is one, and I love Ice Cream Man. That's one of my favorites, I think. And I also liked oh my god, I just went blank again. There's one that I read, I can't remember if it was an Image book. I think it may have been an Image book, and it's about like these two friends that when they were young, they became orphaned, and they were taken into this like secret government program or whatever, and taught to like be deadly weapons pretty much and to kill. And then like they do away with their program and pretty much like turn on them in a sense. And one of them has like this like vendetta against everything, and so he kind of goes on this like killing spree, and the other one is kind of left to like track him. But it's really gruesome, and it's actually one that I think got me out of like DC and Marvel, like out of the big two, and like made me want to like explore other publishers and stuff, because I found out after reading that I kind of like that like gruesome and like twisted like kind of story, something that's like more adult and different than what you get with DC and Marvel, with it just being like superheroes, you know. So it helped me branch out a little more, and I wish I could remember the name of that. It's one that I always recommend to people, but for some reason the names escaped me.
Sorry, I don't recognize. I might have not read that one.
It came out like years back. So
Years back.
it's not a recent one. It probably came out around the time when I started collecting.
It kind of sounds similar to like Deadly Class, but a little different.
Which that one, I actually have those books I got as an AOK from another community friend, and I'm so excited to start on those. I've been saving them for when like I was done with school, because I wanted to like really just jump into it and take everything all in. So I'm excited to start that here within the next couple of days, hopefully.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I watched the show, which when it came to Netflix, I watched the show and I enjoyed it. It had Benedict Wong, the guy that plays Wong in Doctor Strange, in it, and I absolutely loved it, which made me want to go back and read Deadly Class. So I think I'll plan to because it's still on. It's still going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched the show.
Oh, it's wicked. It takes. I forget when it takes place, like what time era. I think it's like the 80s. I think it takes place in that time era when punk was like really up and going.
Yeah. I can kind of see that vibe from the cover.
Yeah, most definitely. I have like the Image First issue for Deadly Class. I know that they're coming out more.
Those too. How Image is coming out with those.
Oh, Image First, yeah, for $1. I collect those. Like I always pick them up every time that they come out with another one. I know a lot of people are like that with the facsimiles with Marvel. They'll probably be worth more money than the Image ones, but I just collect the Image ones for my collecting standpoint.
Yeah. Oh, the one I was talking about earlier, it's called Savage Things. It just came to me. I knew it. I was like, there's an S in there somewhere. I think that's what it's called. I hope that's what it's called.
Definitely gonna look that up and check it out, see what it's all about. So, you mentioned earlier that you're into gaming.
Yes.
And I know that, shout out to Mike, he's been playing Elden Ring and you've been playing Elden Ring. Are you more of a computer gamer or a console gamer?
Okay, so console, but I've been like trying to do more computer gaming. Like I started out with a console, and when I was younger, I got my dad's old computer. He used to play like EverQuest. I don't know if you've heard of that or not, but when I was younger, and I would like love to just sit in there and watch him when he would let me. So when he gave me his old computer, I started playing Unreal Tournament online, and he had like this mod thing where he made all of the characters like super like miniature, and so like the boards were like super big, and you could go and like, and he had like computerized characters of like people that he like knew, you know, just out in life or whatever, and that's like what he named them. But I would do like the death match stuff on there, and like the boards were like super cool, and you were like miniature, and it was like the greatest thing in the world. But then I got back into console gaming after that. So I think about that time I may have been on PlayStation, and I did that for a while, and then I switched to Xbox after it was out, and so I've pretty much been on Xbox ever since. I love my Xbox.
Another one gone to Xbox.
I mean, I love PlayStation 2, but I don't know.
So no Nintendo love?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like what I grew up on was Nintendo, and I'll always have love for Nintendo. And we still like we have a Switch, and we have, I don't know if you've seen where like Nintendo Online has done the thing where like you can, I forgot how much it is a month, but you can get like the old school like regular Nintendo games and the Super Nintendo games for like a certain price or whatever a month. So like we've done that too. So we get like all of the old school games that like I grew up on, I feel like, and play those. So that's really fun too. So yeah, I will always have love for Nintendo. We had like 64 and I had Sega Dreamcast. That was like one of my favorites too. And trying to think what else. Oh my gosh, they're so loud. I'm so sorry. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's all right. So, what would be like your top 5 favorite video games
Oh my god.
from whenever you were a
Oh
kid?
my okay. So from when I was a kid.
Yeah, not of all time. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay. So like, what age can I go up to?
Let's go up to age 15.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what I played then. How old was I when Spider-Man? I think it was Spider-Man 2, maybe. That one I think I had on PlayStation. On the time the movie was coming out. Mario Kart. I always have to say Mario Kart.
Now, which one? Because like for regular Super Nintendo, or are we going Mario Kart 64?
I think I'm gonna go 64. I mean, I like the one for regular Super Nintendo too, but I think I'm gonna go 64 because that's where all of my like memories are from. Because we used to play games as a family, and that was like one of the games that we would like play together as a family. So that one and Guitar Hero, I guess, was like my thing then. And oh crap, what was that one game? Phantasy Star Online, I think, was out then. Was Dreamcast out then when I was 15?
I'm not sure.
I know, I'm like trying to think. I think it was. We're just gonna say yes, it was. So Phantasy Star Online, on Dreamcast was like one of my favorites then too.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. I guess it's considered an RPG, and you could like make your own character, and like you could like choose like different races of characters, and you had like this cute little pet thing that you could get and pretty much like kind of raise, and you were like out in space like on the ship, and it was cool. You could change your hair color and your eye color, and you got to travel to like different worlds and fight monsters and stuff, so it was pretty neat.
It sounds pretty neat. My top 5 would have to be like mostly RPG games, but I have like Mario RPG. That was amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. That was like one of my favorites too. It was
Which
like the coolest.
Yeah, like, and none of the like some of the characters never came back. Like the puppet never came back. The cloud never came back. Which those were like main characters in your like party. But like the reason why they never came back is because I think what was it? Capcom wasn't involved with it, but then they went to like and started working with like PlayStation, didn't they? Instead of like Nintendo, because Nintendo was not going on to process bigger discs. So that's how Paper Mario became.
Okay. So you said Mario RPG, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to think. That's the one like where you could go around and like talk to people, and they had like the different villages and stuff, right?
Yeah, like you'd walk around and stuff, and it was like this, like you'd have to like choose and pick and say fight and choose this move and jump on them. And it was for Super Nintendo.
This one. Sorry, I was like trying to look up. I wanted to make sure we're talking about the same one. That one. It's like got a glare. Sorry. Oh, it's not gonna work. What is the glare on it? The Legend of the Seven Stars. It's got like the picture of like Bowser and Princess Peach and Mario, and then the castle with the sword in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. I love
never hear
that game.
anybody talk about that one, so like that's awesome. Like I'm so happy that that's like one of your favorite ones.
Well, it spawned off like some of the greats. Like then you got like Paper Mario after that, and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Those would have never happened if it wasn't for the success of that one. So,
and it was so different for its time. I felt like too, like.
Well, they started. That's when they started using Mario and making him like throwing him and like making him the mascot of everything. Like he was the mascot of Nintendo. Throw him in a football game, basketball game. Let's do an RPG, and so that actually worked very, very well. Second game would definitely have to be Final Fantasy VII.
I love Final
Have you ever
Fantasy.
played that one?
Mm.
Did you play the remake?
I don't think so. No. The one that they did like a few years back. Has it been a few years?
Yeah, actually, I think so. It has been like.
Because I think.
Yeah, I think it had like it came out before COVID.
Yeah, because I watched. That's another thing. Like I love to do, like watching like the big, like the EA convention things or whatever, like when all the big game retailers come out and they're like telling you what they have coming up for the year or whatever, and they make it's like a huge big day or whatever. I always look forward to those days, and I remember that was one that they came out with, and I think that was about the time they were announcing was it when they were announcing the Fallout 76 stuff? Was that about the same time?
Possibly. I've never played Fallout, so.
Okay. And then I think they let leak. I think that may have been the same time they let leak. There was supposed to be like a new, not Skyrim, but like a new Elder Scrolls game. And they let like a little clip of it leak, but we still haven't gotten anything from that yet. But yeah, I think that was about that time. I think it was before COVID because I remember watching the gameplay and stuff on it. And they had.
I enjoyed it. I played it. Of course, like Final Fantasy VII was my childhood. When they came out with the movie Advent Children, I like lost my shit.
Yes, I loved Advent Children. Did you like what's the other Final Fantasy movie they did? The
Spirits
one that
Within.
Nobody liked. Yeah, is that one it?
Yeah.
I actually really like that one, and it really breaks my heart when people are like, "This movie was crap."
Yeah, I did go to that one, not realizing that it wouldn't connect with Final Fantasy VII because, like, I was sitting there. I actually saw it in theater, Spirits Within.
Oh, did you?
Cool. I was just like, it came out when I was 12, and I was like so pissed at the end. I was just like, that's not my Final Fantasy. Like I was already a get off my lawn guy before like Final Fantasy even, or before I was even old. So, but yeah, Advent Children, and it was so good. The animation was so good as well.
Yeah,
like it was off the charts.
I love that one.
I would have to say my third one. I have to give it to Twisted Metal 2. That was my childhood. Did you ever play those games?
Yes, I love those. They were so good. I don't know that it's my favorite, but I loved Twisted Metal Black, which was like the one that came after. That one was on PlayStation 2, I think. So it was like after all of the old school ones. But I like the backstory on like all of the characters and stuff that they did for that one. It was so cool and like super creepy.
Well, that like
I love
they did
the Twisted Metal games.
They did the backstories on a lot of the characters. Like with Black, you get a lot of the backstory. If you won on Twisted Metal 2, you get the wish for something. And it was always cool to see everybody wished for because they'd wish for something and then it would turn bad on them.
Mm-hmm.
And like no matter what they wished for, it was always terrible in the end.
Yeah.
So I remember the only one I can remember is like Axel. the guy with the wheels for arms, like he'd go around and stuff. He wished that he'd be the king or ruler amongst people.
Yeah.
And everybody would be down by his feet. So he wished for that, and then it just showed him on a throne with everybody dead around him. You're the ruler of nothing.
Yeah.
So, and he was just like, yeah.
I think why I liked Twisted Metal Black was because, like, I mean, like, it was the same as that, and maybe the animation and stuff, I guess, was like a little better, but it gave a story of like how they came to be like before, and then like where they were in kind of like that middle point, like entering into the tournament, and then like what happened afterwards. So I liked that. It was cool.
Yeah, I like the car designs and like different characters. Like they didn't have to give them all backstories, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
yeah, there was
fun.
a lot. Yeah, a lot of thought and stuff put into that game. I like the ice cream man. I can never think of his name. The clown.
Oh, Sweet Tooth.
Drive the ice cream? Yeah, Sweet Tooth. Didn't he drive the ice cream truck?
Yeah, with the head of like, and it was a fireball on top. Yeah. I liked. See, I'm going back to like the second one because like I'm trying to remember. I did like Thumper. Thumper was the car that the car with like the hydraulic pumps, and just like. So I liked his moves and stuff. Like I think I'd always try to beat the game with him, and then I'd like Axel as well.
Which one was the purple? Wasn't there a long purple car?
I'm trying to remember. I think that was a boss at one point. I can't remember, like, but
okay, I felt like I used them all.
I used them all at one point as well because like I wanted to beat them all and see what everybody wished for.
Yeah.
And like the weirdest wish was actually Sweet Tooth. He wished he was a bug, and then he became a bug. So
fitting.
I love how he became like the face of like Twisted Metal for the longest time.
Yeah. Because he's a clown driving an ice cream truck.
And it wasn't always the case. Like I think it was like Black whenever he started to become the face. More and more people would pick him and want to be him.
Yeah.
So I remember the commercial too. Do you remember the commercial for it?
I don't think I do.
It had I think it had Sweet Tooth in it. And it was a live action commercial. So I'm just well, I mentioned that one, and two especially is because like that was a game that I grew up first time getting PlayStation, got that game. Other game is Spyro the Dragon, Year of the Dragon, I'd have to say.
I don't think I played much Spyro. I think I played it a little bit, but I don't think I played it. It wasn't like one that I played like all the time.
No.
Mm-mm. But I heard it was really fun. Oh crap, what was the name of that game? I can't even think of the name, so I'm not gonna say anything. If it comes to me, then I'll ask you. But it had like a little like a jester and a girl with blonde hair. Pandemonium. Did you ever play Pandemonium? It was a PlayStation game too. No, yeah, it was on PlayStation also, I believe. I think. Or was it Dreamcast? No, I think it was PlayStation. There was like two of them, I think. It kind of puts me in the mind of Spyro, I guess, a little bit. But it was pretty fun too.
And then my fifth one, like so cliche, gonna go with Crash Bandicoot. I have to say that was my childhood right there. all
Did you
PlayStation.
play
Like
like Star Fox or anything? Did you like Star Fox?
I didn't have a 64, so it was for Nintendo, but I never played for Star Fox at all.
Because it wasn't. They had it. Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't just. They had it before it was on 64. Also, they had it for Super Nintendo, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's where it originated. But no, I never really got into Star Fox at all. Like, the only time I ever played Star Fox was like on like Super Mario or like Super Smash Brothers.
Okay. Did you play any of the Donkey Kong games?
Oh, I love the Donkey Kong games.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, and 3, I absolutely adored.
Yeah. I think 2 was my favorite. 2 may have been my favorite.
Yeah, 3 added a lot like cool designs to it, but like 3 without Donkey Kong or Diddy, I was just like, okay, now we got. I know Dixie's kind of cool, but then we have like this weird baby Kong with us. Like, why? So just a random character.
I love the second one. The second one, they had like the cool like roller coaster levels and stuff too, didn't they? Like in the mining parts.
Yeah, they had that in 1 as well.
I know, but I like playing with, because you couldn't play with Dixie in the first one. Dixie wasn't in the first one, right?
Yeah, she was like,
yeah. So I think that was why I liked it, because I could be Dee Dee and Dixie. And then like, sorry.
Oh no, I like their dynamic.
Yeah.
And I like how she can fly.
Like the trivia questions from the alligator or whatever. You know how like you can do those little stops on like each level, and he has like the trivia questions where you can get extra balloons or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that one as well. Did you? What about the Donkey Kong 64?
Oh yeah. Wait. Yes. Sorry, when you were saying that, I was thinking, did you ever play the racing one? Is it Donkey Kong Racing or Diddy Kong Racing?
I think it was Diddy Kong Racing.
Okay. I played that on 64, and that was like one that we played all the time. So that's what I was thinking when you said that. I was like, oh yeah, I love playing that one. Which that one was really fun if you ever played it, because you got to like races like a plane, or you could do like the rafting or like in regular vehicles.
I know that one. 64 though, the Donkey Kong 64 one, that was kind of cool to have like different characters, like you can pick and choose. But there's times where you had to choose like certain levels, you had to be that certain character, which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite game in N64? Of all time
for Nintendo 64?
Yeah.
Oh crap. Dude, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna have to go with Duke Nukem.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
Was that for 64?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had it for 64.
Okay, because I remember playing, like, I know it was for other systems first and that, but like I remember playing it on PlayStation, and it was Time to Kill, or and then I love Duke Nukem. What did you think of when they brought it back? For what was it, a couple of years ago? Like I forget what it was called, but
I didn't play it when they brought it back. Did you?
Yeah, it was all right. A little late coming back, like 10 years later, but like it was all right. He'd definitely not fly right around this time. Be like, yeah, let's kill some cop pigs.
Yeah, I'm surprised I like that one so much, but it was really fun. It was really creepy too. They had like that abyss level, well, I think you did the prison level first, and then you could hear like that moaning and stuff, and like it wasn't like the prisoners, but it was like it led you, I think, into that abyss level or whatever next, and it was just super eerie, creepy.
Yeah, I remember the one that I played. There'd be like you go into a strip club. There'd be strippers dancing on the poles. You kill them, and then you come back, and it'd be like the alien pigs dancing on the poles. So it'd be like, what?
Yeah, yeah, because
And
that game had like a lot of I guess like hacks and stuff too, like where you could do certain things.
Yeah, that's what. I think that's what made it a lot of fun, just to go through it. Like it had the view too, like as Doom. So like for like certain scenes and stuff, it'd be like you're playing a Doom game, but like there'd be that comedic side to it.
Yeah.
That was always fun.
I like that one. And did you ever play Quake?
I never played Quake. Never played Quake. Now, here's going to be a tough question, and then we'll move away from gaming.
Okay.
Favorite 2 of your favorite top video games of all time?
Oh God.
Said it was going to be tough.
Dude, I know. I'm so hard with favorites. Okay, so I'm gonna say Mass Effect. The whole like Mass Effect franchise. And oh my God, this is hard. I don't know. I have too many favorites. And Knights of the Old Republic, I guess.
Oh, Star Wars game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with those 2, I guess. I don't know. Or Fallout. I don't know.
Never played Fallout.
You need to. It's so good.
I don't have a system right now, or else I'd be gaming all the time. I think my next system, I have to get. I got rid of my system after I played the Final Fantasy remake, and then I haven't got one since. I think I have to get another one so I can play the second part of the remake when it comes out. And I really do want to get a Switch.
Yeah.
So I can play all those older games. I'd probably definitely be playing like Paper Mario and games like that.
Yeah.
But another game I never played was like Halo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I have been enjoying the hell out of the Halo TV series, and which is making me want to go play the Halo game. Have you watched the Halo TV series?
I have not. I haven't. But I used to play the Halo game all the time, and I loved it.
So what kind of TV shows are you watching or like right now? And like then we'll get into like some of the TV shows that like you watched growing up.
So right now I'm not like, I don't know. I don't really feel like I've had time to really watch TV as much as I would have liked. Yeah, I haven't really watched anything here lately. I haven't even really gotten to watch anime much here lately. So I don't know. Sheena got me into watching Heartstoppers, and I watched one episode and I loved it, but like I had to stop because it was like making me all anxious, and I felt I felt like it was gonna like end up breaking my heart, and so it's one of those shows I have to prepare myself for.
So
Squid Games though, so I guess but that came out like a while ago, but I love that one.
Say that again.
Squid Game.
Oh, okay, I don't think I can watch something like that. I'm not into the whole gorish people dying type horror.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit of what would you say, Heartbreakers?
Yeah, I think Heartstoppers. I think that's what it's called.
Heartstoppers. Tell me a little bit about that.
So what I gather, it's like So I think it may have started as a webtoon first, and then they made it, and then Netflix picked it up as a show, I guess. Which I've been like reading the webtoon of it. I haven't finished it yet, but it's like I don't know, like a boy love kind of finding yourself and like having the courage to like deal with your emotions and come out in like this in like a high school setting, and like it's kind of like teenage angsty almost in a way. And it deals with like bullying and not being accepted, and I don't know, there's a lot. There's a lot there, which I've only watched one episode, so I don't know, I'm probably not the best person to explain what it's about, but it's really good. Like, you have this main character who he was getting bullied for coming out, and he is very like timid, um and I guess kind of like keeps to himself, and he's kind of being taken advantage of by another schoolmate, um, who is not very emotionally supportive, but is like, I don't know, like kind of takes advantage of him in other ways. And so he ends up meeting this new kid who, well, he's not really a new kid, but they're in class together, and he kind of helps him like gain courage and discover things about himself. And he talks him into joining their rugby team. And so, like, kind of helps him discover things that he probably wouldn't have done before. So, I don't know, it's really good. It's very like feel good and heartfelt, but you know, like watching it, it's gonna like break your heart. So yeah.
Right. Sounds very interesting. It does sound pretty dramatic. So it definitely would probably break some hearts. So the title does.
It doesn't any justice, yeah.
So let's move on to like shows that you grew up with that you absolutely love.
Okay, Gargoyles,
Oh yes.
one of my favorites. I'm trying to think. Young Justice.
Which is still on.
Yes, I know, and I need to catch up so bad.
So do
So
I.
bad. Reboot. I don't know if you ever watched that one or not. It was on Tsunami.
I loved Reboot.
Did
Reboot is probably one of my favorite cartoons growing up. Beast Wars being second. Surprisingly enough, Beast Wars is second. But they're both made in Canada.
Oh, I did not know that. Cool.
Yeah, and YTV was the channel that they originally aired on in Canada.
Oh, cool.
But I absolutely loved Reboot. That was back like I want to say early 90s or late 90s, and that's when they started coming out with like this computer generated CGI type of animation.
Yeah.
And they used computers and stuff like that was like the first step for them. And I absolutely loved Reboot.
Yeah, it was so good. Should I think of what else? I have to sneeze so bad. Oh, I loved Kung Fu Panda. It was one of my favorites. The series. I mean, I like the movies are cool too, but the series was way better.
Did Jack Black voice him in the series as well? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the series was super good. I loved like both seasons of not both seasons. It did have 2 seasons though, but the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I love those. I like Unlimited more, I think, just because it introduces you to like so many more characters, like characters that you don't ever get to see or like hear about, you know, instead of just the main. So that was like a huge thing for me.
And yeah, because like Justice League was just like the main core, and then Justice League Unlimited, didn't they have like their headquarters up in space? And that's when we got introduced to that. And yeah, like I think like every episode was like you got introduced to a new character with an original character.
Yep.
So that was a lot of fun.
I liked because you got to get crap. What's I can't believe I forgot his name. The guy's name with Question. The Question, is that it?
The Question was good.
I like the episode with him and Huntress.
I love The Question.
Yeah, that one was a really good one, and how she like always kind of had his back. She was like the kind of like ruthless one or whatever. That was like one of my favorites. I think I really like that one a lot, that episode a lot. But yeah.
And like when you go back to Young Justice as well, like Young Justice came out a long time ago, like the first 2 seasons, and it got canceled because of toy sales. That's how cartoons usually get the most money, is from their toy sales. Wasn't doing very well, so they canceled it, and then it came back like 10 years later, season 3. Young Justice introduced me to one of my favorite characters. I don't want to say hero or villain because he varies. He does what he wants pretty much, but Sportsmaster introduced me to him and Artemis's father. So I absolutely loved him, and that's what made me fall in love with Stargirl as well.
So my and I remember when they canceled it, and I was like, what? No, because clearly you could tell it was supposed to go on. But then I remember like years and years and years and years and years later, like reading up on how like people were starting up petitions and stuff for Netflix, like in hopes that like Netflix would pick it up. And so I like kept following, like, oh my gosh, please, please somebody like pick it up again, because they have so much more story to tell. But one of my favorites was Cheshire. Like I loved like her whole kind of like backstory thing, and being introduced to her, and just like her attitude and everything.
Yeah, her backstory too, like how she got together with the what was it, the original Roy Harper or the clone Roy Harper? Like
clone, wasn't it?
It's hard to say because because I remember her being together with the Roy Harper without an arm, and wasn't that the clone? Wasn't that the original?
No, okay. So I think, but I may be completely wrong because I get everything mixed up always. But I think that she was with the clone. He didn't realize that he was a clone. And he didn't find out until like after, I forgot like what mission it was or whatever, and he was in the hospital. And then he like wakes up with like his arm missing. But I remember he went through this whole like finding himself phase. And I remember her having this like come to Jesus moment with him because they had the child together and stuff. Do you remember that? And her like much like you've got to like deal with like this issue that you have of like him being the clone or whatever, because I think the real one may have been, was he dead?
No, they thought he was dead, but they ended up finding him because he came back, didn't he? So then we had 2 Roy Harpers.
Okay, so I think at the time, they thought he was dead. But maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I may have that completely mixed up. But I remember her having this come to Jesus moment with him. And their baby being with them.
That tracks, because like it's been so long since I watched it. Like I said, like this is 10 years ago. I have to go rewatch it again because it's been so long. But I remember loving the story, like the overall story, because like it threw you for a loop, because like you get into season 2, and right off the bat you find out that Calder is with his father, Black Manta.
Yeah.
So he's turned his back on the Young Justice and like is now a traitor.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, like he was a pretty cool character. Why does he have to go off and be evil now?
Right.
And then like the whole, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but definitely go watch it. The twists and turns and like how they actually like play out the episode.
Tigress, was that her name? Was that what she went by? No? Did I make that up? That's not what she went by, was it?
Oh yeah.
It was
Artemis decided to like change up her persona and went to
the
Tigress.
Yeah. And I loved that. Like I loved her, that whole persona and stuff. That was good too.
Very, very sad ending. Like again, I won't ruin it, but like it's kind of an ending that you get from like almost kind of like Crisis on Infinite Earths with like Barry Allen, like sacrificing himself for the greater good. Somebody does that at the end of season 2, and like it was a great. Young Justice is fantastic. You mentioned mostly cartoons. That's great, though. I love it.
Was us supposed to
No, it's just like shows you grew up with that you absolutely loved. Like most people like throw in live action and stuff, but it's bound to happen that somebody's just gonna grow up with cartoons.
Yeah, cartoons are like my thing. Cartoons and anime.
Speaking of anime, like let's talk a little bit about that. Like some of your favorite anime growing up.
So I loved oh my god, which I freaking went blank again. I'm awful. I'm so sorry, especially when I'm nervous. Like I can't think of anything. Record of Lodos. I love that one. We had hold on. Record of Lodos. We had like all of like I think they had like 2 seasons, I guess is what you would call it. But we had them all on VHS. And it was like one of my favorites ever because it had like elves and dwarves and regular humans and all kinds of fantastical stuff in it. I'm trying to think what else. Berserk. I really, really like that one, but that one, like, I don't know. It left me feeling like it hit me. That one hit me kind of hard. I don't know. I probably should have been watching it that young too, but that one was like one that like left me feeling like really weird and that I like thought on for like ever.
See, I've heard of that like manga because like Jim in Collectibles would be talking about it quite a bit. I didn't realize that it was like an older anime. Like it was on an anime that like what year was this?
I don't know. I want to say 90s, but I could be wrong.
Wow. I might have actually, because like I remember staying up late and watching kind of like weird shit, and that so I might have came across.
We had it on VHS, I think. I want to say like that's how I watched like the older ones before I got into like Toonami. We watched a lot of them on VHS. I don't know if it was like, you know, like legit VHS or if it was something that was like bootleg, you know. All I know is that I watched it on a VHS tape. So
yeah, I knew it was this tape, so I just knew that's what I was watching.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never really watched a lot of anime when I was younger, besides like the common ones like Dragon Ball, which led into Dragon Ball Z. Other than that, I don't think I did watch like too much anime back then. Like I'm trying to think. Like I remember, I'm not sure if it was anime, but Samurai Pizza Cats.
I don't think I ever watched that.
No, I don't know if that was anime because like then you have like Western anime, which was like, what was it? The Last Airbender. That was Western anime because that was done in America. but it looks anime. Looks like it was done.
Yeah, I love the Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra. Those are so good.
Never really got into it that much.
Really? Oh,
You're hating on me. You're like, yeah, now you got to actually go back and watch that.
it's so
That's
good.
your
It looks like super. I don't know, because it was like Nickelodeon was like what it was on, and it looks like it would be like super kiddish, and I guess it kind of has that feel, and it's very it's very light, and there's like a lot of humor, but it's got some really like deep stuff that they have to deal with and go through too. So it's not really, I don't know. It's something I feel like that everybody can kind of get something out of. And you get to watch them kind of grow up and progress and, deal with those real life situations. So it's good. Legend of Korra is more, is a little more, I don't want to say adult, but, doesn't have that lighthearted feel, I guess, as.
Now, do you actually see them grow? Like, you can see their changes in their like physical. Like, I know with Naruto, you go on like into like Naruto Shippuden, and you can see that their physical features have changed. And same thing with actually Digimon. If you go into like first Digimon, you have the original Digidestined. Then in season 2, they're all older, and you can actually see that. Is it kind of like the same thing?
No, not really, but. No, not really, but kind of in a way. I guess it's more of a personality thing that you see change more so than their physical looks. I mean, there are some things like hairstyles or outfit changes that you'll see, but it's more of a personality thing. So like, I guess if you're really into it in your mind, it's like you can kind of see that growth and that change. You know what I mean?
So no other animes like now I kind of know that you've started with anime before manga, but like have you actually jumped into reading mangas?
Oh yeah, I have a ton. Not really a ton, not as many as I'd like to have, but
what manga did you start off with?
I read one called, should I think? One that I started with that I started collecting was Dengeki Daisy, I think is the name of it. And I haven't finished it yet. I'm on like the 12th or 13th one, I think. I have to get those on Amazon because I can't find them anywhere else. But and then I have, I'm trying to think of what other ones I got. I bought Attack on Titan so I can start reading it because I've just watched the anime. I haven't read the manga. So I wanted to start reading that in manga form. And I got, I'm trying to think what else I have. There's one, it's like My Stupid Romantic something. I don't know. It's just like it's not like ongoing. It's just like one story, but it's like super thick. It's like that thick. And then I bought some Demon Slayer and Haikyuu, which is like one about volleyball. Because I watched the anime on it and I like loved it, so I want to get caught up on the manga of it.
I've watched a little bit of Demon Slayer. Shout out Crime Cody. He recommended it to me.
Is it one you're able to like? Is it one you're able to do? Because I know you said you didn't like gore and.
See, that's the thing though, because like it's not like actual gore. Like I like give props to like people like making movies and stuff that know how to get that gore factor. They make it seem realistic. To the point where I'm like, oh, somebody's actually dying here. Like, is somebody going to help him? This is just like colorful animation, like blood and stuff. So like, you can't escape that. There's always blood in anime, no matter like. And I've watched stuff like Bleach. Bleach has a lot of blood, and Demon Slayer is really, really cool in my opinion.
What how far have you gotten on Demon Slayer?
Not very far, like 3
Okay.
episodes.
Okay. It's it gets pretty heavy. Like I
Oh,
mean like and it's weird to say that because you know like where you're at like it's pretty heavy starting out. I feel like but it gets I don't know, it gets heavier, which is weird to say because it's pretty intense. Like the first episode is like intense within itself with like his family and stuff, but it's so good though. Like once you start, like if you start back up with it and start going through it, it's
yeah, I'm excited. Like I've been just watching. I keep up with like normal TV that nobody really thinks about. Like I've been watching like Severance and that, so I've been like falling behind on like catching up on things because like
mm,
a lot of current things I've been keeping up with. Um, but you mentioned that you've watched the animes before the mangas, and that's very interesting because like that's how I've gotten into a lot of the comic books. Like I said earlier, Sportsmaster, like or I want to like I fell in love with him through a cartoon. Same thing
mhm.
with Eclipso. Like I've fallen in love with Eclipso and picking up everything Eclipso now just because I've seen him on Stargirl. Um, is that a normal occurrence for you? Like you'll watch something and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go pick up the manga, or you'll see like a superhero movie in that and be like, oh, I'm gonna go invest in that comic book,
Um
or
so
not invest in it, but like go
yeah,
like find out more about this character through this comic book.
I feel like no, maybe. Like um I don't know, it's weird for me. Like most of the manga that I have, the majority of the manga that I have isn't from like an anime I've watched because and I don't know if it's something that I'm like purposely doing because I know like it doesn't always follow, you know, exactly, but like a lot of the anime that I've watched when I've picked up the manga, it's followed really closely. So I didn't want like any spoilers, I guess, you know. So like most of the manga that I've picked up is stuff that I can't watch on an anime. Like they don't have an anime of. I mean, I do still have some manga that you know that they do have animes of, but the majority of it is like stuff I've picked up that isn't animated or an anime. And then like comics, I would say is probably the same for me. Like most of the comics that I've read or picked up isn't due to like something that I've watched. It's just like I'll see something and I'm like, oh, this seems kind of interesting, or it seems like it would be a fun reader. So like the um that whole like FOMO thing of like, oh, this is gonna get like this show or somebody, you know, like this is this appearance or whatever. Like I haven't like gotten into that because the stuff that I've gotten hasn't been based on like I know that it's gonna like be a show or something down the road, or you know like something's gonna happen with this character or any of that. It's just
You're more in
random.
it for story.
Random. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's some stuff that I'm um, like some of the comics I'll pick up, even if it's just for like I guess I don't necessarily just pick up stuff for the cover, but I will get stuff for the cover if I like it. I always end up reading whatever I pick up. But like with female characters, if there's like a female character that I feel like I like or I'm into, then you know I'll definitely pick that up because of that. And I just like collecting female characters just because it's not I don't know, it's not something that's like they don't really get the spotlight. I don't feel like, you know? And I like seeing as much of that as I can. But other than that, no. I mean, like, you know, like I watched all those animated shows and stuff like Batman animated series and Superman and Justice League and all of those. But when I got into reading like collecting comics and stuff, I didn't go for the characters that I had like seen, you know, like growing up. Like it wasn't like, oh well, I need to get this book because this is, you know, like who I watched then. It was more like I just went in there and just kind of explored, and just whatever kind of jumped out at me, I was just like, oh, let me get this. It looks interesting. Just random. I don't know. I'm random. So
Since you like to spotlight women in comics, let's spotlight them now. Let's say spotlight 10 female characters that you absolutely love.
oh my gosh.
Let's go all out and say 10. I was going to say 5, but let's give this more spotlight on women.
Okay. Let's see. Can it, and like it doesn't have to be like just DC or Marvel. It can be like, can be anybody.
No, it could be any. You know what? It could even be characters in manga.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Alana from Saga as one of those, because she is just like, you know, so real. They're so relatable in so many ways, as like a mother and a partner, and someone still growing, and someone who makes awful choices, but always deals with, you know, the repercussions of those choices in the best way she knows how. And I'll go with Catwoman, Poison Ivy, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name, from Silencer. What was her name? I don't know if you read that one or not.
I have not.
Okay. I think her comic came out after like Rebirth started, DC Rebirth, after they started that up. I'm sorry, I went blank because I can't think of her name. I'm pretty sure I'll think of it later though, so if I do, then I'll just shout it out like the other comic earlier. I can't think of the girl's name from Kick-Ass either. It, not the original, but like the one that they, from the comic that they came out with, is like a spin on Kick-Ass.
You talking about Hit Girl?
No. She was like the she was like the Kick-Ass character, but it was a female. It was like one that it was years back, I think, when they came out with that one too. But it was like the female lead. I really liked reading hers too. But I think her and Hit Girl meet in the comic too. I'm trying to think of who else. Sorry.
It's all good.
Cheshire. I really love her character, and I really wish that they did more. They did more. Like I wish that, which I mean, there's not much to work with there, but I wish like someone would come out and just like create this like whole world and like story and stuff for her, so we could get. I just had one in my mind and I went blank. Crap. Oh my gosh.
I would like to see
Chichi's a good one, I think, too. Huh?
Who's a good one? Sorry?
Chi from Dragon Ball Z, Goku's wife.
Yeah. She got better in Dragon Ball Z. She was like kind of more of a side character in Dragon Ball, and not as sassy as she was in Dragon Ball Z.
Bulma. Himiko Toga from My Hero.
See, that's another show I need to continue watching. Like I stopped watching that as well.
Okay,
I enjoyed that one.
She was the one that cut people, and like she ingests their blood, then she can take their form. I really like her a lot too. Who else? This is hard. I'm trying to think of like some anime women too, but a lot of them. Crap. What's her name from Bleach?
Oh, are you talking about? Now I can't think of her name. Are you thinking of like the main character, the one that gave Ichigo his powers?
No, but I like Rukia also. The one that's the cat.
Oh, the captain of, and it's the task force too, isn't it? Like she has the butterfly power where she can poison you. Are you talking about that captain?
No, I don't know. The one with the purple. She's got like purple hair. I think she was like the cat. I think, or he thought.
Oh, the cat. I thought you were saying the captain.
Oh no, sorry.
Or the cat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she turned into the cat. I can't think of it either, but yeah, she was fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
And I can even say that because it's funny that I mentioned that girl with the butterfly tattoo because, she'd hit you in a certain spot, and if she hit you like in the same spot, like you'd be poisoned, like you'd be paralyzed with the butterfly. She was the captain, but before her was the cat, who was like the captain of that platoon as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I absolutely loved her. And I forget the guy's name too, like the guy that had that cap and like the big shoes and stuff. I absolutely loved him as well. There was not enough of him in the story.
Which one?
The guy that owned that shop in Kurakura Town.
Oh, I can't think of his name either, but yes, I liked him a lot too.
That's a show I still need to finish. I have still not finished it. I have not finished
it.
Yeah, and I hear it's coming back.
Yes, it is, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. I really need to read the manga and catch up on that. Well, I started it. I'm not that far into it, but
I think if I'm gonna go back and watch any anime, I think I'm gonna have to go back and like finish Bleach.
Yeah, it's like what, like 300 or 400 episodes.
It's like people say like Naruto is like the longest running anime, but like Bleach is like right behind there because Bleach is like it had like what 16 seasons.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 300 or 400 episodes, I think, when I went back and rewatched them. It's a lot. I thought whatchamacallit was supposed to be one of the longest. Oh, wait, do you mean like total or like ongoing?
Ongoing. Like I know Naruto is pretty long, but like I know there's probably long animes out there.
Is One Piece the one that's like super, super long?
I'm not even sure. One Piece.
I think it has quite a bit too. I think I don't know if it just ended or if they are doing like their last.
Yeah, it says like it had like season 20, so yeah. And like I'm seeing here on Google, it's like, will One Piece ever have an ending?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that one is. That one's one like you have to invest like a decade of your life.
That's a show I never could get into. Like I remember watching it as a kid because like that came out when I was like 11, and I just could never get into it. but it was always on Saturday morning. So I'd be like, okay, I watch this, and then I'll get to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Or at that time too, there was a weird show coming out. It was like food-based. It was like a food-based fighting show, and it was an anime. At that time, I forget what it was, like Fighting Foodons. Fighting Foodons. You ever hear that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that was crazy. It was like literally food fighting each other. So, I'm not even sure how many women did you list.
I don't either. I wasn't keeping count.
I was keeping count, and then I stopped, and I was thinking about Bleach. But that's great. Like, all right, like before we get to the final question, which would be like the hardest question ever.
Oh my God, really? Like,
I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on Chatting with the Comic Community, episode 60. It's been a great talk. Little over an hour, but like I'm loving it. If you like this, definitely go check her out on Instagram. Go check her out on Q's channel. That's JRails247. The link to both of those are down below. She does a wicked show with some amazing women in this community. They talk about comic books. They talk about Saga. And you get Q, whose channel it's on. You get Sheena, HK Wifey. You get Nicole. You get Moonlit, which is Michelle, which will be my Chatting with the Comic Community next week. So definitely hit that notification bell. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. The final question for you, Inja. What are your top 5 favorite animes? Okay. Tough question, right? Tough question.
Yes. Rurouni Kenshin. I'm going to do Rurouni Kenshin and Samurai X together because it's kind of one and the same, but not really. Tokyo Ghoul, definitely, because Ken Kaneki is my end-all be-all. I love the Studio Ghibli movies. Can I do those all together? And if I can't, then I'm going to pick Howl's Moving Castle out of the list.
You can choose them all.
Okay. I was trying to think of some that I love all of the main ones like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and all of those. So I was trying to think of some that don't always get highlighted. Yu Yu Hakusho. I love that one too. Attack on Titan. Probably. That one's got my heart beating so many times. It's ridiculous. How many did I name?
I think that's 4.
Okay. And
maybe 5.
What should I do for my last one? I'll do Bleach for the last one.
Bleach is great.
It is really good.
Yeah, Bleach is definitely a fantastic. I loved how they just incorporated a bunch of stuff. Like, it blew my mind what they were doing. And at the time, it was either you're a Naruto fan or you're a Bleach fan because they were coming out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely a Bleach fan over Naruto. I can never go back and watch Naruto. Sorry to all the Naruto fans out there.
I love with Bleach how I think that's why I like the story so much though, is what you think is right. What they have this organization that they think is this perfect, wholesome organization, and it's not. And so it really makes them question the things that they've been doing, and everything's just kind of turned on its head. I don't know. just kind of like that, like what you thought to be true isn't really true, and it's not as like wholesome and good as like what you think it is. Like you're like these reapers who you think are like, you know, people who like pass down judgment, and you think that your judgment is the way to go and that you're serving the greater good, but you're actually not making things better like you think you are.
Yeah, and like some of the characters that you like get a bad vibe from, and like you think are like the true all evil, actually turn out to be like the true all good.
Mm.
And it's just like a wholly different flip. Like even though Zanpakuto,
The one with the spiky hair, is that him? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah.
I absolutely love him. He's probably one of my favorite characters. Yeah, Zanpakuto Zaraki, I think. Yeah. And like he just didn't care. You knew his character. His character was straightforward.
Yeah.
Like then, like not to spoil it for anybody, but like there's like a good character that you think is like all wholesome, and then turns out to be pretty much the protagonist for the entire run.
Yes. And I freaking love him though. Like it's so awful of me, but I like freaking love him. Even though he was like not ish, but
yeah, it threw you for a loop too for a lot of the stuff. Yeah. I even love the side characters as much as I hated they did full seasons of kind of, I want to say fill-in seasons, but they actually made a point to come back. Mm-hmm. And like they introduced a lot of cool characters, like the I forget their like names, but like then you'd have like the mods that being the puppets which were really cool and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have like their own personalities and stuff, and it's like I don't know, because they like treat them as like less than, but then it's like they actually have like feelings and personality, and they're like people. They should be treated better. I loved Rukia's brother too. He's one of my favorites too. And you think that he's like this evil, like no good.
Oh yeah, like for the full first season, you're just like, who's this prick?
Yeah.
And like you come to find out more, like his power too. Like I loved when he let out his
Zanpakuto.
Yeah, Zanpakuto and stuff, like he just a single word like scatter. And like oh man, that was just crazy. Like death by 1,000 cuts in a way. But like you'd get like stabbed by like 1,000, like it was just crazy. And then you'd have like, I don't know, I can go on and on about Bleach, but I'm definitely gonna have to go back and finish that, because like even the hollows and like what was happening at that time, I think it was the whole filler season, and then I fell off. And so
when they bleached, I will have to say, like, oh my gosh, they have so much filler. So much. But it is really good. You'll have to let me know when you, like, if you go back and redo a watch through. Maybe I can go back and redo one too, and we can talk about it.
All right, sounds good. Well, that's it for the show. Thank you so much, Inja, for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I'm so awkward.
It's all right. Like I said, the link to her Instagram is down below, as well as JRail's 247's YouTube link. Definitely go check them out. It's always a great time over there on her channel with all of you getting together and talking about the comics you love. The banter between you guys is just fantastic.
Thank you.
Station everybody, Snoochie Boochies, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.